Hi, welcome to the Field Data Collection with QGIS and Mergent Maps online course. My name is Kurt Menke. I'll start with just a brief introduction. I work for Septima, which is a small open source based GIS company based in Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been using QGIS for a long time, since 2005, and teaching it since 2009. I'm a GIS consultant, so I do a mix of spatial analysis, cartography, and teaching. I'm also a QGIS certified instructor and an OSGeo charter member. I've also written several books on QGIS. This year, I've written the second editions of both these books, QGIS for Hydrological Applications with my colleague Hans Vodnerquast, and Discover QGIS 3X. And I'll probably talk more about these books in the course. They're both published with Locate Press. The course session will be recorded, and I'll make that available to you later the same day. And that'll be one of the resources you have to work with as you go through the course assignment and going forward as you're using Mergent Maps. Here's the course schedule. We're going to be in session from 1400 to 1600. I will uncover the entire workflow, and this will mostly be you watching me demonstrate the workflow. We'll have time for questions, of course, and we also may have time for you to try some things, but plan on most of that time being just watching me go through the steps. The following week, we'll have a question and answer session, and this will be just a chance to have a little more informal discussion about any issues or questions that came up when you were working with data collection in QGIS and Mergent Maps, and anything else that you have questions about around the workflow. These are the course topics. I know there's a lot of bullet points here, but the main points are in bold. We're going to start by configuring a QGIS project. That's most of the work. I'm going to show you the method that gives you the most flexibility, and at the end I'll show you some quicker ways to set up simpler projects. You'll then work with the QGIS plugin for Mergent Maps to create a Mergent Maps project, and use the plugin to push that up to the Mergent Maps cloud and down to the input app. Go outside and collect some data, sync it back with QGIS, and review the data. And at the end of the course, I'll show you some other methods for setting up Mergent Maps projects, and also just tips and tricks as I go through the workflow. You'll be given an assignment to be completed and returned to me the end of the week after the question and answer session. And you'll have quite a few resources available to you. You're going to get step-by-step instructions, which will walk through detailed steps for everything I show you during the course. I'll also give you a series of 9 short task-based YouTube videos that you can watch for each step. And there is no course data because you're going to basically create it yourself. We're going to be using some online resources, and then everything else you will create yourself. You're going to be doing a tree survey as part of this. You will get a QGIS certificate when the assignment is turned in. And I should mention that there are 2 QGIS related data collection apps. We're going to be learning Mergent Maps in this course. There's another one called QField, produced by OpenGIS.ch, which is also very nice. So we can talk more about the differences between these, especially in the question and answer session the second week. But we're going to be focused on Mergent Maps in the course produced by Lutra Consulting. So this schematic shows the basic workflow. We're going to be starting out in QGIS Desktop, which is where the project gets configured and the layers set up. We'll then use the plugin to push this up to the Mergent Maps cloud, and then get onto the mobile device where you download the project. All the symbology that you had in QGIS is represented and maintained on the app. Collect your data, and then use the plugin to synchronize the data back and forth. You can iterate through a project. You can collect data one day, go out the next day, collect more data, and just use the synchronization tool to move the data back and forth so you have the current version on the desktop and the mobile device as you go. So the synchronization piece of Mergent Maps works very well. In terms of software requirements, I recommend you use the long-term release of QGIS 3.2.2, or you can also certainly use 3.2.4 or 3.2.6, 2 of the current stable releases. You'll also need a Mergent Maps account. I'll give you instructions for how to do that, but you can also sign up for it before the course if you want from this link. You'll also install the QGIS plugin for Merging Maps in QGIS from the plugin installer. And then on your mobile device, the Merging Maps input application, and you can install that on Android or Apple devices, which is nice. So those are the softwares that you will need to complete the course. Okay, so that's a short introduction to the course, and I look forward to seeing you in class.